Hey everyone, my name is Jennifer Santos. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm currently taking SPD 501 taught by Professor Kimber, and this purpose of this video is to record my personal disposition. I would like to begin by focusing on question number one. Question number one states, what are the specific special education teachers' role in supporting learning, improving planning and practice, upholding professional expectation and ethics, and collaboratively advancing in the profession? So I would like to begin by stating that the responsibility of a special education teacher is always their students. They must acknowledge the fact that they are responsible for each and every student that steps through their class. Now, this can be scary, but a teacher's role in a classroom is one of the most specific and most important roles in each student's life, especially the ones in their classroom, because they are responsible for assuring that each student is learning the necessary information. As their teacher, we should be able to identify what the student needs help in and what the student is mastering and use that to our advantage. Each and every student has a different learning rate, so we must acknowledge what that student needs help doing and acknowledge the fact that it may take time. It may not be something that you teach one or two times. It may take weeks, but as soon as that student captures what you are trying to teach them, you will feel like the most important person, just because you will be happy that they learned what you're trying to teach them. And they very important to make sure that you are prepared throughout the day, for the week, because students have more consistency if they have a set routine, a set plan. They know what is going to happen, and especially in the special education department. These students run with routines. As soon as their routines are set, it kind of makes for a better day, a better flow to the day. So making sure that you have what lessons you're going to be instructing that day prepared is always great, and it's very important to be successful and to make sure that your students are learning everything, because if you're not prepared, you don't know what's going on, you will not have a consistent day every day. You will not know exactly what is going to be happening throughout your day. You will also not be sure of the material that you're supposed to be teaching, and then by the end of the day you have missed a couple things, and that's never good. Very important that we are aware of the ethics and the professional expectations that we are responsible for. Teachers must be patient, especially working with students with special needs. We must be understanding, we must be creative, we must try to make sure that we are helping our students and understands that our students need a little more help than usual. These students will be loving, they will have good days, they will have bad days, but as their teacher, we must know that we are responsible for them, and we are responsible to make sure that they are learning everything they need to learn. Teachers must model integrity. We must advocate for our students. We must know that as long as they're learning, we're learning, because we're going to be learning things about them every day. We're going to be learning things to make ourselves better, to be able to teach our students. We might not fully be prepared to accept the fact that that lesson plan did not work, or something triggered one of our students. So we must be able to be flexible and be able to make changes throughout the day goes, and make changes to our lessons, because yes, we must be prepared for what happens, but we must also be very considerate of the fact that sometimes there are bad days and sometimes there are good days, and we never know what to expect. Teachers must also be able to consistently work together, because something that one teacher may know and something that may be working for one teacher, another teacher may not be aware of that strategy, or may not be aware of that learning technique or that teaching technique. So it is good to compare notes, to be able to have kind of a whiteboard and be able to bounce ideas around. There must be things that we're never perfect, so we don't know everything. So it's always great to have another coworker and be able to, bounce ideas around or give suggestions, because it's never a guaranteed day that something that is always going to work, and you may not have all the ideas. So your coworkers will always be there to help you, and you must take advantage of that. Focus on question number two. Question number two states, what are the dispositions that you currently possess that will help you become a successful teacher, and what dispositions do you believe that you need help on when you enter your first year classroom as a teacher? So I believe that I currently possess the honesty, compassion, the dedication, the fairness, the professional conduct that is needed, as well as the respect for the diversity of others. I very much believe that I have been brought up in a very diverse location and have experienced all type of people from all parts of the world, and I am hopefully very understanding of every individual. So I hope that when I have my own students, I will be able to be very understanding and acknowledge that everyone is different and everyone comes from a different place and a different background. So I also believe that I um, am very fair and have the dedication, because I am a very dedicated person in general. I believe that it is important to make sure that you are dedicated to the work that you are in, because you will never like to wake up and say, why did I choose that job? I believe that teachers, specifically special ed teachers, um, should be dedicated, because it's not an easy profession. I wouldn't like to work and wake up just to expect a paycheck. I want to love what I'm doing, and I believe that teaching is something that I will love doing. I do currently work in a school, so I believe that I love the environment that I'm in, which is the reason why I chose to pursue my master's in education, in special education. So I believe that I am dedicated, I am compassionate. Some things that I need to work on most likely are the high expectations that every student must have, or I must have for every student, because sometimes I can believe that some students are getting like harder work than that they can do. So making sure that I acknowledge these students' strengths and weaknesses accordingly, as well as advocacy, because I have the tendency of being a very quiet and observant person. So making sure that I advocate for myself and my students will be one of the goals that I have, that I need to work on, because it is always important that not only our students but that we have a voice. So these are things that I feel I am good at and things that I feel like I need to work on. Three states, what effect could personal biases have on expectations that teachers have for their students? I personally don't think I possess any personal biases, mainly because I don't think that you should have any when it comes to teaching. You're teaching children from all types of background, all types of ethnicities, all types of cultures. So I believe personally that it's not a section or a career or a job choice if you choose to have any personal biases, because there's so many diverse individuals that will step through your classroom, and I don't believe that would be the makes of a good teacher personally. So for this question, I really don't think that I have any personal biases that could affect nor my students nor their families or their relationships with their families. I am a very open-minded person and I am a very fair person. So I don't think this question personally pertains to me. but I can only hope that I will become a great teacher. I hope that by the end of all these courses and by the end of me achieving my degree, that I am more open minded and see more things and learn more things that could possibly help my students. So I hope so. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for watching. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.